Oh, jeez. Oh no. Some of you may want to turn away right now. Today, we're back with another top 10 strongest video for the bug typing. Yeah, they're definitely creepy and crawly and whatever, but when it comes to Pokemon bugs, there is an extra thing to fear: their immense power. Even though the bug typing is, as a whole, the worst typing in Pokemon, there are definitely 10 Pokemon that are just so good they deserve to be spoken about. I feel that these bug types we have here today represent some of the best of the typing, and I really hope you guys see that. I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Audible. If you guys aren't familiar, Audible is a service provided by Amazon which blazes a trail for the future of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, all while being the #1 provider of them along the way. They've got everything over there, from recently released books to absolute classics, along with memoirs from all your favorite celebrities. They've got a ton of fantastic original content as well that you can find only on Audible, including podcasts. And who doesn't love a good podcast? Anyway, I'm honored to share with you guys some big news. Audible is offering a tremendous deal on their subscription plan, Audible Plus, for the holiday season. We're talking $4.95 a month for your first 6 months, and then $7.95 after that, which is just such a mind-blowing deal. That's thousands of audiobooks, originals, and podcasts, all available with the Audible Plus plan at such an affordable and generous rate. The Audible app is free to download, and you'll be able to use it on many different devices, including Amazon Alexa-enabled ones. And regardless of where you listen, your progress through a book is kept. I'd like to suggest the Audible original Plan to Win by Michael Lewis, who also wrote the book Moneyball about the Oakland Athletics. It's a real interesting deep dive into the flow of cash in the incredibly competitive world of girls softball. If you're at all a fan of baseball and sports in general, this is an in-depth look you don't want to miss out on. After hearing all this, truly you must understand that now is the time to try Audible Plus and open yourself up to a world of audiobooks, A-list comedy, guided wellness programs, and even more. Go over to audible.com/MysticUmbreon or text MysticUmbreon to 500-500 to get that sweet holiday deal of $4.95 a month before it's gone. Also, throughout this video, I want you guys to think about what you wish to see as the next typing we do a top 10 for. In fact, for the month of December, we're going to be doing the next typings back to back. So the 4 highest typings with the most votes in the comment section will be next. The last typings are water, ground, grass, electric, normal, and fighting. So get to voting. Alright, let's go head first and face our fears and see if we can figure out just what the best of this typing is. Alright, so right off the bat, we're going to be breaking some conventional norms with this series, as I felt compelled to name 2 different Pokemon to the 10th slot here on the list. I just could not decide between Durant and Ribombee, so we've got them both sharing this slot. They're actually very different Pokemon, of course, with Ribombee being a fairy type and a special attacker, and Durant being a steel type and a physical attacker. Durant, on the surface, can look like the better Pokemon. It's got Hustle as an ability, which will bump its base 109 attack at the sacrifice of some accuracy. And it already has got 112 defense and 109 speed, which turns it into a possible offensive juggernaut that can go toe-to-toe with strong fairy types, among others. Its real issue is that weakness to fire being ×4 spread, and that isn't something you'll want to deal with. However, even then, it isn't enough to decide how strong Durant is. As for Ribombee, its speed is even better than Durant's with base 124, which is fantastic. And it's also got 95 special attack. Defensively, it isn't superb with 75 special defense and 60 defense. However, the big thing that keeps Ribombee in the conversation, and that puts it here with Durant, is that it has access to Quiver Dance. When Ribombee uses Quiver Dance, it gets a boost in special attack, special defense, and speed. Its fantastic fairy typing works in tandem with the bug typing to be a dark type's nightmare, and also just absolutely hits hard with moves in its arsenal, like Moonblast and Bug Buzz. And don't worry for all you guys about the comment out there, I know what you're about to say. Sticky Web is also another really great thing that puts Ribombee up here. It's hard to deny that Durant is a strong monster that has a hard time escaping its weaknesses, and that Ribombee is a Pokemon that, once set up, is more than deserving of being included on this list. So now we've got a Pokemon at number 9 that just shot ahead of Ribombee and Durant by a little bit, the Ellie Spider Pokemon, Galvantula. Let's look at the facts here for a second. Galvantula is not an impressive Pokemon outside of its speed and special attack. It has horrible defenses and no bulk to speak of, meaning it's a major glass cannon. However, as far as glass cannons go, Galvantula is a damn fine one. It has access to Compound Eyes, which is an absolutely tremendous ability which boosts the accuracy of Galvantula's moves, which is a mirror image to Durant's Hustle ability. We're talking it is now very possible to hit Thunder most of the time, whether it is raining or not. Then, if it is raining, well, the chances of it hitting go even further beyond being 100%. Which might sound kinda dumb, because it sort of is. But regardless, it's the truth. All in all, Galvantula has a nice typing with a great ability, and moves like Thunder and Bug Buzz take advantage of that base 97 special attack. Even if it gets absolutely floored by a Fire-type or Rock-type move, Galvantula has the speed to hit like a truck, and make do, even being as frail as it is. Number 8 is a Pokemon that would have definitely been higher if they had kept Megas in Sword and Shield, but since they didn't, I can't see it as being good as it used to be. Now, don't get me wrong, Heracross is still good enough to make it into the top 10 of course, but with the Mega, it would for sure be pushing top 5. While the Mega for Heracross has base 185 attack, which is one of the all-time highest, the regular Heracross still has 125 base attack, which is great. It has a very nice 95 base special defense, which defends it a little bit against the strong fire types out there. But the reality is this. A well-placed Air Slash is still going to more than likely take Heracross out. It doesn't have the next level speed at base 85, which allows it to dip and dodge many speeding flying types. So that's just going to be a problem. Regardless of that though, Heracross still has the power behind it to hit opponents hard, even with the few of its other stats lagging behind. If we take a look in on the abilities that Heracross has, you see both Moxie and Guts as 2 of the 3 available. As I'm sure you guys know, Moxie is a real next level sort of ability. It will boost the attack of Heracross every time it knocks out an opposing Pokemon, which just drives an already good stat up even higher. If you run Guts, then you have Heracross get burned with a Flame Orb or something like that, and its attack will go up even more, albeit it'll constantly be losing some health. Its move pool is headlined by 2 very great stab moves in Close Combat and Megahorn, with several great coverage moves like Earthquake and Stone Edge being available to it as well. Heracross will always have a lot of potential when not needing to worry about flying types, and that's what's earned its spot here on the top 10. Coming in the 7th spot is a Pokemon I felt just edged out Heracross, Alola's Vikavolt. Now, let's get this out of the way. Vikavolt is very slow, and that can be a real turnoff. It has a base speed stat of 43, which is among the most awful on this list, if not the worst. However, while it is slow as all hell, Vikavolt does have an emphatic 145 base special attack. There needs to be respect shown to the Stag Beetle Pokemon just for that special attack alone, and its ability to slam down on anything with a high-powered Bug Buzz or Thunderbolt. It's got access to Air Slash, Energy Ball, and Flash Cannon as well, which offers a variety of coverage moves to take on Fairy types, Rock types, and other Bug types. It's fantastic. It's a shame that there isn't hidden power anymore in Sword and Shield, because there could have been even more coverage. There's not much to say from that. Vikavolt is just really good, if not just rather slow. So we move on now from Alola to Unova at number 6, as we say hello to the Megapede Pokemon, Scolipede. Now, you guys already know just how fantastic this thing is, and I think all I really need to say is Speed Boost. See, Speed Boost is such a good ability that it went and got Blaziken banned, and any Pokemon that ends up with it immediately raises some eyebrows. It helps when you've got some good attack too, and Scolipede has got just that, with base 100 attack complementing the 112 base speed. Now, I get how to some of you, it may be seen as a bit of a confusing surprise to see Scolipede appearing at all here, and how many good poison types there are. And for those who feel that way, I have to ask you, why? See, Scolipede is a great story. The best poison bug type we've ever seen, and I mean no disrespect to Beedrill. Though the simple fact is that in the realm of bug types especially, Scolipede is on another level. It has those great stats I brought up earlier, and then a whole plethora of nice stab moves like Megahorn and Poison Jab that turn it into a tremendous threat on the battlefield. That is only the tip of the iceberg, as moves like Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Throat Chop will follow behind the great stab it has, as well as Swords Dance, which will drive the attack stat even higher to match that constantly building speed. The bug typing makes ground type moves neutral, and while there is still a real weakness to the psychic typing, with a few more additional weaknesses coming in from the bug typing, you've still got an absolutely dominant Pokemon in Scolipede here that is a fine Pokemon to round out the first half of this list. It's time for the top 5, and we're going to open up that top 5 with our first legendary Pokemon, UBO2 Absorption. For those of you that don't follow the Ultra Beast lore, you probably know this jacked bro as Buzzwole. So, as I'm sure you guys already know, Buzzwole isn't exactly the best on the special side of things. It's not like that is also surprising though. I mean, look at those massive muscles and whatnot, so clearly it should be taking advantage of them with physical moves. Much like Heracross, it has to deal with that massive weakness to flying types, but aside from that, it still makes out with base 139 attack and defense, and base 79 speed, which isn't good, but could always be worse. It's also got a bit of bulk with base 109 HP, so really there is potential here to avoid taking too much horrible physical damage. Truth be told, with Beast Boost in play, you can even end up letting your defense be your highest stat, and thus constantly boost it with every knockout Buzzwole achieves. We couldn't possibly talk about Buzzwole without the awesome moves it has in its move pool. It's pretty clear it has access to some of the best moves of its stab typing, including Close Combat, Power Up Punch, Drain Punch, Leech Life, and Lunge. Though, of course, that's not all there is to it, because Buzzwole has access to all the other major coverage moves that many Pokemon were lucky enough to easily get their hands on this generation. We're talking the elemental punches, with the exception of Fire Punch, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Outrage, Iron Head, and of course, there are some other moves, but geez. Buzzwole just has such a diverse move pool that offers several viable moveset options in battle. Buzzwole is a true king of brute force. The only problem is that it just suffers a lot from poor special defense and not great speed. So, you may have thought I'd only include one bug type that's also a steal on this list. But, as it turns out, I have another one. Crazy, right? It's just safe to say that life has changed quite a bit for Scizor in these last few generations. It was always a rather decent Pokemon since being introduced in Johto with Gold and Silver, and then in Gen 6, it took a massive step forward with the introduction of Mega Evolution. Mega Scizor suddenly was a 150 base attack, 140 base defense monster, and while it forever had to worry about fire types, it was just absolutely destructive on the battlefield. Now, in Sword and Shield, you have access just to Scizor on its own, but it's still a great Pokemon. It has access to the ability Technician, which goes hand in hand with the move Bullet Punch, which is definitely the Pokemon's claim to fame. There isn't exactly an amazing speed stat attached to Scizor, as that is only at base 60. But thanks to a move like Bullet Punch with its priority, Scizor has a chance at hitting for big damage before the other Pokemon moves. Speaking of hitting for big damage, Scizor has access to Swords Dance, which will only make it stronger if you can set one up, and fairy types absolutely fear the hell out of this guy. A single Bullet Punch has massive potential to one-hit a fairy type, and that can make the absolute difference in a battle. There are plenty of other moves Scizor can use too, like Fury Cutter and X-Scissor, which make use of Stab, and Cross Poison, Psycho Cut, and Superpower help with defending it as well with coverage. The major problem, of course, is a lack of coverage for fire types, but I guess the important thing we should all remember is that in Pokemon, more often than not, it's a 6-on-6 battle, not a 6-on-1. Scizor can go toe-to-toe with every typing but fire types, and that's a pretty good position to be in. Alright, so time for me to fulfill a promise. We're here to talk about Volcarona, and it isn't even the last one we're going to be talking about in this video that hails from Unova. Anyway, Volcarona is an absolutely tremendous Pokemon, and from it onward, we'll be talking about some really special elite level Pokemon. Volcarona packs a base 135 special attack with 105 special defense and 100 speed, and that makes it perfect that upon evolving into Volcarona, it gets access to the move Quiver Dance. Quiver Dance gives it a one-stage boost and both special stats and speed, so it will thrive when set up. Really, Quiver Dance is just one aspect of a thriving relationship between its two typings, Fire and Bug. It has Flame Body as an ability, and considering the fact that it has just 65 base defense, it actually has a purpose, as Volcarona will need to deal with taking physical contact moves somewhat often. Its other ability, Swarm, will help its moves like Bug Buzz get even stronger when it's near being defeated. Volcarona gets access to moves beyond just Quiver Dance and Bug Buzz, including Fiery Dance, which is a 50% chance of boosting its special attack by a stage. As you can tell when it comes to this one, setup is the name of the game, and it is capable of becoming a sweep candidate during any matchup, as long as something like Stealth Rocks are dealt with prior to it coming out on the field. It's capable of using Heat Wave and Flamethrower as well, and perhaps even more interesting, the incredibly powerful Hurricane is a move in its arsenal. Volcarona is a Pokemon full of power, potential, and possibilities, and where it really flounders is just in the physical department. It's got poor attack and defense, and not too much bulk with base 85 HP. However, it's only got 3 weaknesses and plenty of resistances with its typing, and a reliable way to get health back with Roost. So really, it's still a tremendous Pokemon. Like I mentioned at the start, Volcarona being here is a fulfilled promise. As back on the fire list, I promised you Volcarona would be quite high on this one, and I was right. Let's move into the penultimate spot now, with another Ultra Beast. This one being Pheromosa. You know, I couldn't help but notice, but there are a ton of repeated typings on this list. Naturally, everyone is a bug type, but this is our 3rd bug fighting type. We've had 2 bug steel types and a duo of electric bugs. I'm not sure what it is about these typings that bring the bug type front and center, but it's kind of interesting to think about. Anyway, we've got Pheromosa here, which is honestly the superior Ultra Beast when compared to Buzzwole. This beautiful bug has got base 151 speed and 137 in both attack stats, meaning it's going to outspeed just about anything and then hit them back pretty hard. Now, it doesn't have too much to talk about as it has 37 base in both defenses, which is absolutely disgusting. And that 71 base HP instills little to no confidence that this thing could ever have the ability to take a hit. Thankfully, for Pheromosa though, it's so fast and so strong that it should be capable of one-hitting any Pokemon before it gets a chance of actually taking it out. It's definitely something you could place in the glass cannon category, but I'd make the argument that it's more like some sort of glass nuclear bomb. It's just so insanely good while being frail. When we take a quick look at its move pool, you could perhaps find yourself very pulled in by Quiver Dance. You'd be making Pheromosa stronger and faster, which is of course great. And you'd even get a very slight bump in special defense. Though, honestly, there are so few opportunities to actually use Quiver Dance since Pheromosa can't take a hit, so I wouldn't get too infatuated. It's got the usual moves you'd expect to see, like Leech Life and Close Combat, along with a ton of coverage moves on the special side. But I would like to highlight that Triple Axle is an awesome move it has access to, which covers against flying types. All in all, Pheromosa was nearly the best bug type out there, but a certain mythical has it beat. Well, like I said, we've had a lot of duplicate typings. As a matter of fact, the only uniquely typed Pokemon on this list were Volcarona, Scolipede, and Ribombee out of the 11 we've talked about. There was but one Pokemon that I knew would have to sit atop all the other bugs, as the best. And of course, it's Shuckle. Oh, what? We're not doing this joke again? Really? Well, no, alright. I'm really not sure if Shuckle is going to be happy about this, but anyways, alright, seriously, the number 1 spot goes to Genesect. Genesect is tremendous as a bug type, setting a certain standard for the legendaries that would come after it. It's got 120 in both of its attack stats, giving it options as either a physical or special attacker. And of course, base 99 speed. Perhaps even more impressive is the base 95 defenses, making it so that Genesect is just not around to give out hits, but to take them too. Again, this thing is only weak to fire types, which is a big deal with how good those defenses are. Let's say you slap a drive on this thing too. Suddenly, its signature move Technoblast is either fire, water, ice, or electric type. It's a pretty tremendous move for coverage. And when you throw in Bug Buzz or Iron Head or whatever sort of stab moves you want on top of all the other coverage moves Genesect gets access to, you've got a Pokemon that is a sweep candidate every match. I haven't even mentioned its ability download yet. When you enter battle, you'll either get a stage boost to physical or special attack, depending on the lower defensive stat of the opposing Pokemon on the field. Suddenly, Genesect is going to be even stronger, and making that possible sweep even more likely. It's hard to make the argument that any bug type is better than Genesect, but who really knows what the future of Pokemon could hold for the typing? Alright, that's gonna do it for this one. Another typing down the drain, and there's only a few left. Let me know which one you guys would like to see next. And also, let me know what you think about this top 10. Did I miss any Pokemon or anything like that? I'll be checking. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream all sorts of games from Pokemon to Fire Emblem to Zelda and much more. I also have an anime channel called MysticSage where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me their support over there and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.